Niyamukela ohlelweni lwe-Ithala Edu platform enilethulelwa ngezilokotho ezinhle Ithala kanye ne-GoDigitalSA Foundation. Thamelani izifundo ze-mathematics, i-accounting, isiZulu ulimi lwasekhaya, isiNgisi, i-FAL, i-physical science, i-geography, ezobuchwepheshe, i-computer applications technology kanye namaklasi e-learner wellness okungukuzilolonga ngokomqondo kanye nomzimba. Lezi zifundo zethulwa nsuku zonke kusukela ngoMsombuluko kuya ngoLwesihlanu kuqala ngehora lesi-4 kuya kwelesihlanu u-4 kuya ku-5 ntambama nangoMgqibelo kusukela ligamanxe ihora lesi-8 8:30 kuze kugamanxe ihora lokuqala emini 1:30. Zithameleni futhi lezi zifundo emsakazweni Ukhozi FM njalo ngoLwesine kusukela ngo-9 kuya ku-10 ebusuku. Ningangena ekhasini lethu lika-Facebook elithi GoDigitalSA_movement noma kwi-YouTube uthi GoDigitalSA Foundation. Siyethemba nizolijabulela lolu hlelo oluhlose ukunifundisa futhi lulekelele kulokho enikufunda ezikoleni zenu. Luthokozeleni-ke lolu hlelo nimeme nabo bonke abanye abafundi bebanga le-12 grade 12 ukuze nabo bazuze kulo futhi nonke nicijeleke ukuphumelela kwizivivinyo zenu zokuphela konyaka.
Sanibonani bafundi, sanamukela futhi kuzifundo zethu ze-computer applications technology esizithola njalo ngoMgqibelo phakathi kuka-11:30 kuya ku-12:30. Siyabonga ku-GoDigitalSA Foundation bebambisene neThala ukuthi sikwazi ukuthola lezi zifundo lezi. Ngesonto elidlule sibheke ama-networks, sabuye sabheka nokuthi asebenza kanjani. Saphendula imibuzo, senza kanjalo futhi ne-revision ngama-networks. Namhlanje bengithanda ukuthi sibheke ama-implications noma ama-social implications ahambisana ne-network. Njengoba sazoke isikhathi mabe ukuthi nezinto esizenzayo noma esikhuluma ngazo ziqhamuka nokuthile okusithintayo thina njengomphakathi nabasebenzisi bamakhompyutha. Uma ukhumbula kahle masikhuluma ngama-networks noma nge-internet, sibheke izinto eziningi la abantu abakwazi ukuthi ba-obtain, bakwazi ba-share, baphinde ba-storage information, bakwazi ukuthi ba-access information around the world. Namhlanje sizobheka indlela abantu abaye bayisebenzise because igcina usuku abantu into abayibhekayo akusho ukuthi thina sifisa nakhona ubuhle sikutholayo abantu bahlezi njalo bebheka lobo buhle kuphela. Kunendlela ezithile abantu abakhomitha ngayo ama-crimes against abanye abantu. So sizobheka lezo ndlela lezo ukuthi yiziphi into abazenzayo abantu ukuthi singasivikela kanjani thina njengabasebenzisi bamakhompyutha. Kunama-crimes amaningi ahlukahlukene athinta noma asebenziswa kwi-computer world. Sikhuluma ngo-cyber crimes, into mhlawumbe abantu abaningi abayijwayele abayaziyo. Kunama-viruses a-attack-ayo afana nama-phishing, ama-cyber criminals la abantu khona kutshontshwa khona ama-password abo ne-information yabantu. So ziningi izinto ezenziwayo, even nama-bank accounts nama-identities abantu nokuzithola nje information yabantu e-personal. Zonke lezo zinto lezo zifola ngaphansi kwama-types of ama-computer related. Sizobheka ukuthi asebenza kanjani nokuthi futhi singazivikela kanjani. Eyokuqala i-computer related crime ekufanele ukuthi uyazi ile sibiza nge-theft of computer hardware. Kujwayelekile kakhulu ngesikhuluma nge-computer hardware nokutshontshwa kwezinto. Izinto lezi ezi-physical, izinto singabala kuzona o-RAM, ama-graphic card, ama-external components. So ama-computer hardware njengoba sazi ukuthi yena ayabiza, kubalulekile kakhulu sihlezi sikwazi sizivikele noma sivikele ukutshontshwa kwabo. So into yokuqala kufanele siyenze, mhlawumbe i-password wena ungayibuka nje ukuthi ngeke izikusebenzele uma ukuthi into yakho isitshontshiwe. But kungukuthi umuntu athathe into yakho aphinde athole ne-information yakho, kukahle ukuthi wenze isiqiniseko sokuthi i-password uyayifaka. Indlela yokuqala ongayivikela ngayo. Ungaphinde futhi wenze isiqiniseko sokuthi into efana nama-laptop nama-mobile devices awubashiye enga-attendiwe endaweni yomphakathi. Nokuthi-ke uma ngabe kuwukuthi sine-office noma sinendawo enkulu, singakwazi usebenzisa amakhebuli to lock ama-equipment ethu kwi-desk noma kwithebuli esisuke silisebenzisa. Enye yama-computer related crimes singabala kuyona i-software theft. Masikhuluma nge-software theft, ngiyacabanga ukuthi half of us noma half of you actually bayawasebenzisa ama-software abangazange beze bawathenge. So masikhuluma nge-software that sikhuluma ngokutshontsha ama-CD noma ama-DVD anama-software noma nje ukudownloada any software illegally, especially kwi-internet. So i-software theft ne-piracy iy'khame eyenzeka kakhulu emazweni amaningi, including kunalezo lezi esikubona. So kubalulekile kakhulu ukwenza sure ukuthi awuzithole usubandakanyeka as part of lama activities. Now naka ama-guideline angasisiza to stay clear of i-software theft. Yenza isiqiniseko sokuthi you don't copy, you don't duplicate noma awudistribute i-software yakho ngaphandle kwe-copyright license. Awudownload noma awusebenzisi i-software illegally from the internet. Nokuthi uma ukuthi i-software yakho uyithengile awubolekisi ngayo ukuze kuzokwenziwa ama-copies. Bandwidth theft. Now masikhuluma nge-bandwidth ukhumbula njalo ukuthi sikhuluma ngani this amount of data. Now bandwidth theft refers to the use of i-bandwidth without paying for it. So abantu bayakwazi ukuyitshontsha i-bandwidth, and it has been happening for many years. La abantu abazi ukutshontsha khona ama-usernames ama-password abantu ukuthi ba-connect as if bayibona abantu labo. Iyakwazi ukuthi yenzeke la umuntu uthena angene khona kwi-network engekho protected. So izinto kufanele ukuthi uzibheke la, kufanele ukuthi ubheke ukuthi imali ukuthi usebenzisa o-Wi-Fi nento efana no-hotspot, i-password oyisebenzisayo i-right kakhulu, nokuthi futhi uyabheka ukuthi ama-software osuke uwasebenzisa awanawo nama-malwares. And kunenye futhi into efuna ukuthi uyibheke uma ukuthi usebenzisa kunolu hlobo olukhona futhi le-bandwidth theft esibizwa nge-hot linking. Now i-hot linking ila ukuthi umuntu akwazi ukuthatha khona i-file yakho noma i-video yakho, and then bese eyilinka i-file yakho noma i-video yakho bese eyilinka to i-website yakho. So lokhu kuye kube inkinga because ngosuku le link le esuke sivela isuke sekungazi ukuthi iqhamuka kuwena. Now bese kuba khona i-crime esibiza nge-identity theft. Ngicabanga ukuthi sike sahlangabezana nale crime isikhathini esiningi. Noma sikhuluma nge-identity theft sikhuluma ngokutshontshwa kwedatha ezosetshenziswa ukupretend as if umuntu uwomunye umuntu, njengoba igama lisho ukuthi identity. So singatshontsha information e-personal njengegama lakho, njenge-address, njengokudla okuthandayo. Abantu bakwenzile kakhulu lokho ku-Facebook besenza abanye abantu bengasibona abanye abantu nako-Twitter. Le information then ungazi ukuyisebenzisa ukuthi abantu ba-open ama-account, ba-open ama-website, even ama-Instagram pages, bathatha iy'thombe zabantu bezingazi ukuthi bayibona, bafake information yabantu kube ngazuthi bayiyona. So lokho kufala ngaphansi kwe-identity theft. Now indlela yokuthi into efana le uyi-avoid ukuthi wenze isiqiniseko sokuthi i-information yakho eqondene nawe noma information nje e-private, wenze isiqiniseko sokuthi awuyisherishi noma ikanjani nanoma ubani. Now mase siqedile ngama-computer related crimes, ake sibheke manje indlela abantu abasebenzisa ngayo i-information ngendlela engekho right. Now this also falls ngaphansi kwe-computer related crimes. This is whereby abantu bazosebenzisa i-information ekungeyona noma bazosebenzisa information ngendlela engekho right. So kufala ngaphansi kwama-computer related crimes as well. Bese kuba khona i-theft of time and services. Now masikhuluma nge-theft of time and services sikhuluma mhlawumbe ngomuntu ozoreceive i-payment from kumuntu asuke emsebenzela kodwa ebengazange aze awenze umsebenzi. So lokho kuvela ngaphansi kwe-theft of time and services. So kahle kahle utshontsha ama-services kodwa ungazange uzowasebenzela nesikhathi somphathi ungazange uzosebenzela. Now this is usually because a person usuke ebusy nezinto ezingekho related to umsebenzi nesikhathi somsebenzi. So i-theft of services refer to a person using ama-company equipment such as ama-computer ne-internet for izo zakhe esuke zinjani, esuke zi-personal. But khumbula lo muntu lo usuke esebenzisa izinto zakhe ukuthi abrowse i-internet noma asebenzise i-computer. So that is why kungena ngaphansi kwe-computer related crimes. Now bese kuba khona lento siyibiza nge-internet related fraud, la abantu abakwazi ukuthi baskeme khona noma benza ama-fraudulent schemes basebenzise i-information yomuntu othile. So i-scam is a fraudulent scheme used by a malicious person to obtain imali noma to obtain something of value from someone else. Now into yokuqala esingayibheka kuma-internet related fraud noma ebaluleke kakhulu lento siyibiza nge-phishing. Now, i-phishing ne-email spoofing kungena ngaphansi kwe-internet related fraud. Now, igama elithi phishing noma elithi email spoofing igama esilisebenzisa mabe ukuthi abantu ba-obtaina i-information esuke i-sensitive. Ila abantu abazi ukuthola khona i-username, i-password nama-bank details. Basuke besende i-email kwi-user noma kumuntu othile osuke engasitsheli ukuthi unale email eqhamuka kumuntu eseceleni. Befuna information related to that. So the email le request information sensitive, and then message direct i-user as if the information lena i-right noma iqhamuka kumuntu osuke right. Kanti the information le basuke bezoyitshontsha. You can always avoid this ngokuthi ungayisendi information esuke sensitive. Into efana nama-password noma usernames over ama-email. So kuye kube advisable ukuthi abantu mabe ukuthi kunama-emails abatholayo from their banking institutions etc. Benze sure ukuthi what do they do bona baya khona themselves personally, because fraud iningi kakhulu when it comes to i-internet. Now ake sibheke manje ke ama security issues esibhekana nawo noma esihlangabezana nawo la ku-internet. So ububi obukhona kakhulu kwi-internet ukuthi kunezinto eziningi njalo ezihlezi zenzeka ezingekho authorized. Akusho ukuthi izinto ezenzekalayo zikho authorized all the time, but most of the time ububi bakhona ukuthi abantu bayakwazi ukuthi bathole information engafanelanga bayithole because of the internet. So ama-security breaches ayakwazi ukuthi enzeke kuma-networks, and then hlezi njalo kunama-threat ku-internet noma kuma-wide area network. Now ake siqale sibheke kuqala-ke manje ama-internet attacks esihlangabezana nawo. Now ama-internet attacks okuqala noma esiyijwayele yile sibiza nge-denial of service. La usuke i-use of compromised computers to flood server with a request for information. The attack can be regarded as successful if the server becomes so overwhelmed that normal users cannot connect to the system. So it's a denial of service. Awukwazi ukusebenzisa imanje i-server noma awukwazi ukusebenzisa i-network because into eyenzakalayo manje baflada i-information, then information noma i-server igcine seyingase ayisakwazi ukusebenza, then wena as a user usakwazi ukuyisebenzisa. Bese kuba khona into esiyibiza nge-cyber terrorism. Now la ku-cyber terrorism ama-internet attacks la it occurs in parts of the country's IT's infrastructure. Amagama babheka i-country as a whole. That is why igama elithi cyber sethola laphana ngoba related to that's why sithola igama terrorism ngoba related to ama-terrors. Bese siba kuma-internet attacks, bese siba ne-spoofing attacks. Now mase siqhubeka nama-lessons sokuye sibheke futhi i-spoofing ukuthi sisuke sikhuluma ngani. But spoofing attacks works by masking the attacker and making it seem as if lo muntu lo o-attackayo uyi-legitimate user. So lokhu kwenziwa by using ama-false data to connect to the network. So umuntu uzofike a-connect ku-network ezengathi ngomunye umuntu ebengasuye nalowo muntu loyo, and then bese a-attack. And then lastly bese siba ne-sniffer attack under ama-internet attacks. Now i-sniffer attack njengoba isho igama ukuthi sniffer. Now sniffer attacks works by checking the data packets sent over the network. So uyabheka umuntu ukuthi yiphi data esendwayo la kwi-network. So then they use ama-sniffer applications to analyze the network and access all unencrypted data. Ngokuthi bafike babheke ukuthi okay la bayakwazi ba-access le data le, bayakwazi ba-access le data le. So basuke besniffer in between ukubheka ukuthi yiphi data bayakwazi bangena kuyona noma ama-applications abakwazi bangena kuwona mabe kuwukuthi awekho secured. Now we're still looking at ama-security issues. Now ama-security issues esingabheka nawo noma singahlangana nawo kwi-internet eyokuqala yawo ama-bots. Now le gama lithi bot uma ulibheka kahle ngazuthi lithi robot, kodwa manje linqanyuleliwe lathona lathiwa bot instead of robot. Now ubot uyi-software application that allows i-user ukuthi ikwazi ukuthi automate ama-tasks and action. So ngamagama into sukuyenza wena awusuke ingasenziwa wena, suke senziwa yini, suke senziwa i-robot. Ku-internet they are normally used to analyze and file information. I-example nje ukuthi mabe ukuthi wena ubhizi uya-browse information ethile, and then bona they get to find the particular information osukusebenza ngayo. They get the information le by analyze i-data yakhona ukuthi imaphi ama-search engines owasebenzisayo, imaphi ama-website owasebenzisayo, imaphi ama-pages owasebenzisayo. But abanye abantu-ke ama-bots bawasebenzisa ngendlela ezi-right, but isikhathi esiningi abantu bawasebenzisa for ama-malwares noma to open ama-backdoors kuma-computers athile. As part of ama-security issues, kunalento esiyibiza nge-zombie. Now, njengoba ubona laphana esithombeni, noma igama ulazi elithi zombie, but this one i-malware ine-capability yokuthi ithathe over the user's computer. It allows ama-hackers ukuthi athathe control of ama-computers. Uma ukuthi lento le iyenzeka, sikubizwa ngani ngezombie. Ngamanye amagama, ama-hackers asebenzisa ama-zombie computers for ama-applications amaningi, njengokuthi enze ama-attacks noma sende ama-emails, lapho sikubiza ngama-spam emails, in order to spread i-malware. So when once you open ama-spam emails, then ama-malwares ayaqhubeka aspread. Another thing efanele ukuthi sikhumbuzane ngayo masibheka ama-social implications kwi-network, i-right to access versus i-right to privacy. Now, masikhuluma nge-right to access versus i-right to privacy, sikhuluma ngokuthi wena as umsebenzi wekhompyutha, how do you access your computer? And when you're accessing your computer, how private is your information to the computer? So kufanele sibheke ukuthi singaspreventa kanjani from i-fraud and-identity theft uma bekuwukuthi abantu basebenzisa i-information on the internet. Now, siyazi ukuthi kunama-crimes amaningi esikhulumile ngawo futhi sisazokhuluma ngawo. So manje kufanele sibheke indlela umuntu angazivikela ngayo uma bekuwukuthi idatha yakhe akafuna ukuthi itshontshelwe noma i-information yakhe ufuna ukuyivikela. Nazi into yokuqala-ke kufanele ukuthi sibheke. Kufanele sibheke ukuthi if you do your work on a computer owned by someone, labo bantu labo bangaba ne-right to claim access to your data files. So make sure ukuthi information yakho sokuyisebenzisa leyo sikuyishare low computer leyo, as much as une-access yakhona kodwa i-privacy yakho ingacompromiseka. Now, uma ukuthi usebenzisa i-computer online noma usebenzisa ama-online services afana ne-Facebook, kufanele ukuthi ube aware ukuthi ama-end user license agreement, siyasakhuluma nge-EULA couple of weeks ago, ukuthi ama-agreement lawa asuke estatethwa ama-companies noma asuke estatethwa kuma-software uma ukuthi usuya-agree ekugcineni. So ama-EULA noma ama-end user license agreement angastate ukuthi whenever you post lento osuke uyiposta ayibelongi kuwena, ibelonga kubona. We've also talked about this with our learners ukuthi uma uthi accept kwi-software ekugcineni kwe-software yakho, kufanele ukuthi ube aware ukuthi akusho ukuthi njengoba nakho uyithengile i-software it's yours, because somewhere lapho in the fine print labantu laba abakhulu abenza ama-licenses bayazi ukuthi as much as uyithengile but it still belongs to them, but it's one thing that you don't take much notice to it. Now, enezinto ekufanele ukuthi ube aware ngazo when you talk about the right access versus the right to privacy, ukuthi uma bekuwukuthi isikole sakho sine-AUP for the computer lab that you have accepted, you may have allowed people other than yourself to access your data files. So igcina kosuku kungenzeka ukuthi wena une-data yakho sukunayo esikoleni noma kwi-lab, kodwa leyo data yakho leyo kungenzeka ukuthi ibisetshenziswe noma i-accesswe omunye umuntu. Now, ake sibheke manje ama-common security threats. Yonke lento lena as ingama-social implications asithintayo uma bekuwuthi si-connecta to a network or to an internet. Now, masikhuluma ngama-common security threats esikhathini samanje, sikhuluma ukuthi abantu manje batransfera imali online, abantu basebenzisa amafoni abo, abantu basebenzisa zabo kuma-cloud. So kubalulekile kakhulu ukuthi wena njenge-user u-understand ama-basics of ama-computer malware and understand futhi ukuthi uyisebenzisa kanjani i-computer noma uyisebenzisa kanjani i-internet safely. Now, ake sibheke-ke izinto ongahlangabezana nazo noma ama-threat ongahlangabezana nawo, then bese sibheke ukuthi ungawa-avoida kanjani lawo ma-threat lawo. Now, ake siqale egameni elithi farming. Now, njengoba legama lithi farm, ngazuthi lithi i-farm, but le i-practice esetshenziswayo ukuthi wena njengomsebenzisi wecomputer redirect to a fake website even if you type in i-URL right. Ufika wabhala wathi www.GoDigitalSA Foundation kodwa kuvuleke enye website esuke iyi-fake. So bayakwazi ukuthi bakudirect wena usuke utshela ukuthi ubhale into esuke i-right bese busokona. So igama elithi farming lisebenza kanjalo. Now ungakwazi-ke ukuthi uzivikele kwi-farming ngezinye indlela ezimbalwa. Eyokuqala, kumele wenze sure ukuthi uma ngabe kuwukuthi kunama-redirections, warnings asuke enzeka, take note of them. Yenza isiqiniseko sokuthi isite yakho osuke uyisebenzisa is secured. Yenza isiqiniseko sokuthi i-anti-spyware software sakho si-up to date. Enye yama-common security threat ilento esiyibiza nge-clickjacking. Now, i-clickjacking iyi-attack eyenzeka kuma-website noma kuma-site that appears to do one thing, but your click are actually redirected to do something else. So when ngesikhathi usuke uclick into ethile, uzitshela ukuthi isuke izovula another thing, kodwa bese iya-redirecta iphinde ivule something else. Now, there are ways of protecting yourself from i-clickjacking. Into yokuqala ofanele ukuthi uyibheke, kumele wenze isiqiniseko sokuthi ama-add-ons a-install on your browser. Into yesibili ofanele ukuthi uyibheke, kumele ubheke ukuthi ama-server programs ayakwazi ukuthi a-installeke noma a-installiwe ukuthi akuvikele wena as a user on a network. So kunama-programs athile esiwasebenzisayo kwi-network azosisiza ukuthi sibe protected. Now, bese kuba nento esiyibiza nge-spoofing. Ngingakhuluma earlier on ukuthi sizokhuluma nge-spoofing. Now, spoofing, this is where bashintsha khona i-email header so that i-email appears to come from a different source. So when uzotshela ukuthi i-email iqhamuka from Ithala, kanti i-email iqhamuka from abantu abathile abazenza ngazuthi bayi-Ithala. So there are ways of protecting yourself as well mabe ukuthi ubhekana nani ne-spoofing. Now, indlela yokuqala ukuzivikela ukuthi wenze isiqiniseko sokuthi i-email iqhamuka from a trusted sender. Amanye ama-email ayabonakala-ke buka phezulu ukuthi I know le sender le njengazuthi ikhandile lento le. So into ezinjalo kufanele ukuthi ube nesiqiniseko sokuthi uyasifunda noma uyasifundisa zona. Enye yama-common security threats ile siyibiza nge-spyware. Igama elijwayelekileyo angicabanga ukuthi abantu abaningi abahlangabezana nalo kakhulu empilweni zabo. So le technique noma i-software ezama ukumonitha noma ukucheck indlela wena osuke usebenzisa ngayo ikhompyutha. Once the information yakho leyo has been checked, then information yakho isendwe to ama-third parties. So whatever usuke ukwenza, uthola ama-third parties asekwazi uku-communicate nawe ngoba nakho asebonile indlela noma nakho i-software le noma le technique isibonile indlela owenza ngayo izinto, isimonithile indlela owenza ngayo izinto. Once yayithola yonke leyo ndlela leyo, ithathe iyise kuma-third parties. Now, zikhona futhi indlela zokuyivikela when it comes to ama-issues afana nalawo, but ebalulekile kakhulu ile yokuthi make sure ukuthi on your computer une-anti-spyware software. Do not fall victim of any internet hoaxes. Abantu ama-hoaxes-ke bavele babe ama-victims kalula kuwona for some reasons and understand ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani. Now, but-ke labantu abasuke benza lezi zinto lezi basuke behlakaniphe kakhulu, ngeke uzuze ugaranti ukuthi nawe ungakwazi ukuthi uhlezi njalo babhida. Enye yama-common security threats esinayo, sinale community threats esiyibiza nge-keylogger. Now, i-keylogger njengoba lesho igama elithi keylogger. This type of software irecorda ama-keystrokes akho ngesikhathi ubusy utype, and then it attempts to discover your personal information. Now, indlela zokuyivikela-ke kuma-keylogger ilezi. I-firewall. So i-firewall ibalulekile nayo sizokhuluma ngayo ngokuqhubeka futhi kwe-lesson ukuthi yena iyini i-firewall, but make use of ama-firewall to avoid ama-keyloggers. Again, make sure ukuthi you install i-password manager as well as keep i-system yakho up to date. Okugcina, make sure ukuthi i-anti-malware software ikhona into your computer. Sisabheka ama-common security threats. Now, i-threat enkulu kwedlula wonke ama-threat akhona kwi-computer world i-virus. So i-computer virus iyi-program esiyaziyo ebhaliwe noma ekhandiwe just to disrupt the normal functioning of the computer. I-idea nje ye-computer virus ukuthi disrupt i-normal functioning ye-computer. So ama-viruses amaningi ayakwazi ukuthi a-activate-eke nje ukuthi urane i-program ethile noma ukuthi uvule i-program ethile esuke injani, esuke i-infected. Now, there are ways to protect yourself from computer viruses. One, you can install an antivirus software. Nokuthi uma usunalo antivirus software, make sure ukuthi it's up to date. Make sure ukuthi wonke ama-emails owatholayo noma ama-attachments osukuwathola uyawascan. I-email noma i-attachment noma i-program ethile osukusendele yona via email, kumele wenze sure ukuthi awuyivuli ngaphandle mabe ukuthi uyayithemba. Kwenye yama-common security threats esinayo sinalento esibiza nge-computer worm. Now la magama uwabeka uyakwazi ukuthi urelate kuwona ngezinto vele ozaziyo. Wonke umuntu uyayazi i-worm. But this time around, it's a computer worm. Now, i-computer worm i-malware ekwazi ukuthi is-distribute itself over the network. Now, umuyazi i-worm ubona esemaningi ama-worm mhlawumbe kudoti noma into ethile esuke singasekho right noma esuke sishayelwe isikhathi. So this thing noma this particular threat ikwazi ukuthi is-reproduce, ikwazi ukuthi is-distribute via email ngaphandle ukuthi wena unjani uyibone. So this is how it actually works. So zikhona futhi indlela zokuzivikela kuma-computer worms. Now yokuqala uku-install i-antivirus software nokuthi futhi ungavuli ama-emails asa-suspicious noma ama-emails angekho recognizable. Bese siba nale security threat esibiza nge-Trojan. There's a movie Troy. There's a movie esibiza nge-Troy. I think uma kulo movie leyo sokuyibuka you relate to ihashe elithile inkosi eyabapha lona ipha esinye isizwe as a present. Kanti phakathi kulelo hashe lelo kunamasosha ayekade ekhona ezokwazi access ngaphakathi internal kulezo leli noma kuleso sigodlo leso. So bekade bengakwazi ukungena. Namase sesiza ngapha kwi-Trojan horse noma kwi-Trojan as a virus. So noma as a program. I-program lena disguise as into enhle noma into ezokusiza. So kodwa uzizosebenza it relies on you ukuthi uactivate. So for that hash, for that horse ukuthi isebenze isikhathi inkosi liyani ibanikezile lona as a present. Kwakufanele ukuthi bali-accept. Ubantu abazange baze bali-accept langeze lisebenze. So same thing applies with the Trojan program. I-program ezenza ngazo uthena izokusiza. Kodwa ngeke futhi zisebenze mabe ukuthi awuzange uzuyivule noma uzange uzuze uyi-operate. There are ways to protect yourself again from malicious software afana nama-Trojan. Awurani ama-programs unless unesqiniseko sokuthi usafe ukukwenza lokho. Kuma-common security threats kunento esibiza nge-ransomware. Njengoba igama lisho ukuthi ransom. Igama elithi ransom igama esijwayele esilisebenzisayo nathi. Igama kakhulu elisebenza mhlawumbe mabe ukuthi abantu bafuna imali noma bafuna imali ethile. Now this case i-ransom i-malware that makes i-data unavailable. So ngamagama i-information yakho sukunayo ku-internet isikhathi usebenzisa i-internet iyavaleka awukwazi ukuthi uphinde uqhubeke ukuthi uyi-access until uzukhokhe imali. So what they do, bafike bathi we have your information. So ngeke sikwazi le information yakho leyo uyi-access. For you to access your information kumele ukuthi ukhiphe imali ethile. So they hold you ransomly. Now there are ways to protect yourself from the ransomware. Install antivirus software. Nayo antivirus software yakho ibe up to date. Bese kuba lento sibiza nge-adware. One of the most irritating thing ongayithola ku-internet. La othola khona ukuthi usuthola ama-adverts ayinqwaba selokhu pop up, and once you click those softwares, those adverts, uthola usuzifaka kuma-thread angenasidingo. Now akusebufunda igama elithi adware. So i-adware is software that downloads itself into your computer bese ikubombarda with ama-adverts nama-pop-ups amaningi uma ngabe ukuthi uconnecte ku-internet. Now zikhona futhi izindlela zokuthi sizivikele kuma-adware. Indlela yokuqala singabheka yona le balulekile kakhulu, i-anti-malware software. So khumbula ukuthi igama elithi anti liyasebenza nalaphana ku-antivirus. So uma uthi une-virus, anti will actually kill your virus. So same thing that malware, you have to have an anti-malware software. Make sure ukuthi ama links osukunikezwa wona click because isikhathi esiningi ama-link lawo usukwavula iwona azokunikeza amanye azokunikeza lama-adware. Enye yama-common security threats esinayo ile sibiza ngokuscamma. Now i-scam works in all way around. Sebenza ku-internet, sisebenza nabantu suke sihlangabezana nazo. So lalo uyawuthola i-message noma i-article ezokudeceive noma ezokudefrauda izenze ngazuthi into right kanti ayisiyona right. Now indlela yokuthi uzivikele kuma-scams ukuthi wenze sure ukuthi ama-sources osukuwathola are-reliable kangakanani because abantu bazokutshela information ethile ngabe befuna ukufrauda. So bheka ukuthi le information oyitshela loyo muntu loyo u-reliable na. Phinde futhi ubheke ukuthi lento le usuyitholile usuyibhekile awuyi-forward futhi kwabanye abantu ngoba into eyinenke kakhulu ukuthi once you've been scammed now uphinde uforward for the information there, or if ungenayo strong reliability uphinde uqhubeke futhi uforward something like that. Now enye izinto futhi fanele ukuthi uzenze ukavoid ama-scams ukuthi ungeke uzuwathatha ama-actions asuggestwe ama-scam messages. Now moving on, there's a part esikhuluma ngama-security nangama-safeguards ekufanele ukuthi siwalandele. Now kwi-computer operating system yakho le sibiza nge-Windows 10 kunama-programs noma kunama-applications ayi-providayo i-security. So kunezinto ezithile esiyisebenzisayo ezingakwazi ukuthi zikuvikele kuma-applications afana nama-keylogger, kuma-applications ongakwazi ukuthi uma ukuthi uvula ama-banking website ungakwazi ukuthi abantu baku-access. So lama protections lawo abantu awekho kuyeke kube lula kakhulu wena as a person ukuthi udamejeke noma information yakho ibe exposed. Ake sibheke ke manje indlela zoku-avoida ama-threat ongahlangabezana nawo mangabe ukuthi usebenzisa i-internet. Khumbula sikhuluma ngama-social implications here. So there are security threats athile sihlangabezana nawo. Now into yokuqala ekufanele ukuthi uyenze ukuthi uzivikele. So ungaze kuze kufike la sekuqala khona kuba khona izinkinga. But ke mabe ukuthi sekufikile ke lapho ke ake siqale sikhulume ukuthi sisivikela kanjani. Indlela yokuqala sisivikela ngayo sisebenzisa a secured password. Now siyasibona ukuthi thina mhlawumbe ngathi kuyahlukumezana uma usebenzisa i-password to run a mix letter with the word with another key, with the uppercase, with the lowercase. But lokho kwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi ama-security threat aya-avoideka. Enye izinto futhi ongayenza ukuthi pay careful attention kuma-website nama-links osuke wavula. Okunye futhi ongakubheka ukuthi you do not share i-information yakho as-sensitive unnecessarily. So kunabantu abafaka i-information yabo nje esuke i-private isidingo singekho. And then enye izinto ofanele ukuthi uzibheke ungavuli ama-suspicious emails. Now ama-suspicious emails lama-emails aqhamuka from ama-sources ungawazi noma ama-email addresses osuke ungawazi. So make sure ukuthi uma uvula lawo ama-addresses lawo noma lawo ama-emails lawo information ethile noma aqhamuka from people osukubazi, especially ama-attachment lawo angama-executable files. Thothi uyayivula ifile kade sewenza njani so usithola ususenkingeni yokuthi u-affecteke noma i-security yakho ibe under threat. Unga-download ama-suspicious programs noma ama-attachments. So ngaso sonke isikhathi uma kunabantu abane-interest kakhulu kuma-programs noma kuma-attachments, but wena make sure ukuthi to avoid ama-security threats into ezinjalo awuzenzi. And keep your antivirus application up to date. Sinenqwaba yabantu abanama-smart kuma-computers abo esengihlangabezana nabo. Umuntu uyayibheka i-antivirus yakhe ibhalwe 2018, but this person is hoping for ukuthi le antivirus iyamsebenzela. But for you to avoid ama-security threats, see through it ukuthi antivirus application yakho isuke i-up to date. Bese futhi ukwazi ukuthi usebenzise nama-software nawo asuke up to date, because uma ngabe software ingasekho up to date ama-hackers ayakwazi ukuthi agene i-access to your computer. And then lastly, angazi ngize ngisebenzise i-two-factor authentication. Kunomngane engimaziyo nje ono-WhatsApp wakhe othi uma ngabe engawuthintile uWhatsApp noma ifoni kufanele ukuthi afake i-password ku-WhatsApp. I-password vele iyafaka ku-WhatsApp. But what happens here ukuthi uma ngabe ukuthi ulogga in kwi-app ethile kuzofanele ukuthi mhlawumbe uzosebenzisa umunwe ukuthi uyivule. Uma sewusebenzisile umuntu uyivule, once yavuleka uphinde futhi ufanele ukufaka ufake i-password yakhona. So let's use a two-factor authentication. They prevent ukuthi umuntu akwazi alokhe into your account. So noma thola information ethile akwazi ukuyisebenzisa ukungena. Kodwa ke akwazi awasebenzise omabili ama-factors ukuthi angene. So umuntu uyakwazi ukuthi angakwazi ayihacke kalula information yakho. But again, you can always try to do that one as well to avoid security threats. Now, there are ways to safeguard ourselves from our criminals, to safeguard ourselves from our viruses, and to safeguard ourselves from our threats. Ekhathini eningi ke kube nzima ukuthi sikwenze lokho ngoba siyasitshela ukuthi ama-threat angeke azaqondana nathi. But kuhlezi kulula ngaso isikhathi and kuhlezi kune-solution yokuthi sikwazi ukwenza lokho. Now sike sakhuluma ngama-firewalls earlier on, ngachaza ukuthi at a later stage sizokhuluma nge-firewall nokuthi yini yenzayo. So ama-firewalls nama-software afana nama-antivirus nama-anti-spyware asiza kakhulu ukuthi ama-threats esisuke sibhekana nawo, ama-viruses kanjalo nama-criminals, sikwazi ukuthi sisi-safeguard against them. Now masikhuluma nge-firewall, umsebenzi we-firewall is to monitor wonke ama-incoming nama-outgoing traffic kwi-network. So yonke into esuke yenzeka kwi-network, i-firewall iyakwazi ukuthi i-detector, ikwazi ukuthi i-define, ikwazi nokubona futhi ama-security threats bese iyawa-block. So through this action, i-firewall ikwazi ukuprevent ama-malware from spreading over a computer network. So into yokuqala leyo kufanele sikwazi ukuthi sisi-safeguard against ourselves, against ama-criminals nama-viruses kanjalo nama-threats, ukuthi sibe ne-firewall. Now, ake sibheke manje ukuthi i-firewall irresponsible ngezinto ezinjani. I-firewall irresponsible ngokumonitor ama-incoming nama-outgoing traffic network. Now, sinama-examples ambalwa ke-firewall. Khona sibiza nge-zone alarm, i-Komodo kanjalo ne-glass wire. But ke isikhathi esiningi nami nje myself ngiyakholelwa kakhulu kuleso kuphuma ne-Windows 10. So Windows 10 ke iyayiqhamuke nayo esuke inayo, but ke it may not be strong enough. So kuye kube advisable ukuthi uthole enye futhi i-firewall esikuseceleni. Ezinye indlela futhi zokuyi-safeguard ourselves against ama-criminals, ama-viruses nama-threats, ile sibiza i-antivirus program. Now i-antivirus program noma i-anti-malware njengoba sengachaza ekuqaleni ukuthi igama lithi anti liyi-computer program that is designed ukuthi detect, identify, iphinde futhi i-prevent noma i-remove anything engaba dangerous to your computer. Now i-program le into eyenzayo ibheka ama-processes enzakalayo into your computer, ivumela ama-program athile into your computer noma iyawa-scanner, ibheke information yakhona ukuthi kungenzeka yini noma kungenzeka yini ukuthi inama-software malicious. So it's always advisable ukuthi uhlezi une-antivirus program into your computer to safeguard yourself against ama-criminals, against ama-viruses nama-threat. Ama-examples ke ama-antivirus program maningi, enye yawo i-Bit Defender, i-Norton, no-Webroot. But as you go along, ungena kakhulu kwi-information technology, you learn and understand ukuthi mhlawumbe khona athile wena ozohambisana nawo ngaphandle kwalo asuke ebaliwe la. Now le-Windows 10 futhi as well iqhamuka nayo futhi a-basic antivirus program lesiyibona lapha esithombeni sethu, leya isuke iphume nayo i-Microsoft Windows 10. Now abantu abaningi ke bazakholelwa kuleso ke iphume ne-program noma ne-computer, kodwa futhi abantu abaningi bayabakholelwa ukuthi maybe you need ukuthi uthole amanye asuke seceleni. So it's entirely up to umuntu othile, up to an individual ukuthi ukholelwa kuphi. Ezinye zezinto fanele ukuthi sisibheke to safeguard ourselves against ama-criminals noma fanele sizenze ukuthi sihlezi sinama anti-spyware. Now anti-spyware is a type of a computer program edesigned ukuthi i-prevent, i-detect noma i-remove ama-spyware programs into your computer. So ikwenza ukuthi monitor ama-emails akho osukwathola, i-monitor ama-website osukwavakashela, even nama-file osukwa-download. So uma ukuthi une-program ethile esuke ingenzeka ukuthi ibe nobungozi, i-anti-spyware iyakwazi ukuthi prevent ukuthi leyo nto leyo ingangeni into your computer. Now we've got a couple of anti-spyware programs, but ke adume kakhulu amajwayelekile lesibiza nge-Bit Defender, Kaspersky ne-AVG. sesizophetha nje ngicela ukuthi ke sibheke manje i-impact ye-technology kwi-global community. Now remember ukuthi i-technology has got i-impact yakhona ekhona emhlabeni as a whole. Now with i-invention ye-internet nokuduma ku-internet, so abantu manje sebe-connected kakhulu, and the connectivity lena has led ukuthi kube khona ama-technologies amaningi, lama-technologies that have eliminated the problem of distance. Now lama-technology lawa futhi into ayenzayo asenze ukuthi sikwazi sithole information, sikwazi ukuthi communicate ngayo, sikwazi si-conduct ama-business ngayo, sikwazi futhi sihlangane nabantu ngayo. Now esibheke into yokuqala eyi-impact ye-technology kwi-global community, eyokuqala futhi ebaluleke kakhulu i-communication. So i-communication has got a huge impact of technology on the global community. Ey'khathini ezindala sasikade si-limited, sisebenzisa ama-landline phones ukwenza ama-calls, sibhala iy'ncwadi ngamapeni nangamaphepha. Uma ukuthi ufuna ukuhlangana nomuntu kwenye city, kufanele ukuthi utravel noma organize i-meeting endaweni ethile ejwayelekile. Kodwa manje, because of i-technology ne-impact eqhamuke nayo, we are able ukuthi sisende ama-email azofika same time, senze ama-VoIP, senze ama-video conferencing, nama-smartphones futhi nawo asenze kwaba easy ukuthi sikwazi ukuxhumana nabantu ngendlela e-cheap nangendlela futhi elula. Enye futhi i-impact ye-technology kuma-global community ile sibiza ukuconducta i-business. Now i-internet iyenze i-platform elula kakhulu for all of us ukuthi sikwazi ukwenza ama-business ethu, sikwazi ukuthola ama-customers esingesikwazi ukuthi size siwathole. Now sesikwazi uku-create ama-online advertisement for ama-products ukuthi akwazi reach ama-customers ebesikwazi siwa-reach. Sikwazi manje si-host ama-online services kuma-website afana nama-Amazon. Sikwazi ukukhompyutha nje new business ideas siyifaka ku-YouTube nakuma-esports. Another impact technology has had kwi-global community ukuhlangana nabantu abasha. So esikhathini samanje, because of technology, sikwazi ukuhlangana nabantu ngendlela esikwazi ukuthi siyenze before. Sikwazi ukuthola izihlobo, sikwazi ukuthola nabangani esikade sasigcina ukubathola because of impact of technology in the global community. Another thing ekhona futhi noma that has impacted us as a global community ilento esibizwa nge-computing power. We are able now to distribute computing power. One of the most important ways in which technology has impacted our daily life are ama-inventions of distributor computing power. Masikhuluma nge-distributed computing power, into efana no-cloud, no-green computing. Sikhuluma ukuthi wena msebenzi wekhompyutha uyakwazi ukuthi storage information ku-internet, as well as increase i-computer power ukuthi usebenzise i-network where one can use the computing power nama-resources amanye ama-computers. So mukhumbula sasakhuluma ngayo in the previous lessons. La sikhuluma khona nge-grid computing, la sikhuluma khona nge-cloud computing, for us to be able to share i-data noma ama-resources online, so ikwazi ukuthi sisave thina imali kanjalo nesikhathi. Now sesiqeda ake sibheke izinto ezimbalwa ekufanele ukuthi sizazi noma sizikhumbule. Kunegama elithi piracy. Now ufuna ukuthi ukhumbule ukuthi i-piracy is one of the most widespread computer related crime esikhathini esiphila kusona njengamanje. So i-piracy yenzeka endleleni eziningi noma ngendlela eziningi, okuyinclude ukudownloada umculo, ukudownloada ama-TV series nama-movies. Enye futhi izinto yokugcina ngifuna ukuthi siyibheke kwi-internet noma indlela ezimbi noma ama-social impact eqhamuke ne-network, into esiyibiza nge-malware. Now ufuna ukuthi ukhumbule ukuthi masikhuluma nge-malware sikhuluma nge-term esisebenzisayo to describe i-software engakwazi ukuthi cause i-harm kwikhompyutha yakho noma kwikhompyutha network wena usuke ungazi. So sikhulumile ngama-trojan, sakhuluma ngama-worms, sakhuluma ngama-bots, sakhuluma ngama-zombies. Yonke leyo nto leyo ingena ngaphansi kwama-malware. So i-malware i-program that normally functions by causing your computer to perform ama-actions osuke ungawafuni, ukuthi send ama-emails nama-messages, ukuthi spread ama-infection noma inikeze ama-hackers information yakho esuke i-personal esuke istorishiwe onto your computer, noma nje allow ama-hackers to take control of your system. Another thing that I need you to be aware of is something esibiza nge-pop-up. Now, i-pop-up is a form of advertising esiyithola kakhulu ku-internet. Lokho kuyisithombe vele kuqhamuke uvele ungazange uze uku-request noma uclick. So i-advertisement efaka lama windows lawa amancane avela pop-up into your screen with ama-messages azothi clicka la, especially baye bathana to claim a prize noma to gain information kwi-product ethile noma ungena kwi-website ethile for i-offer ethile. Even though ama-pop-ups kusisikhathi esuke esafe ukuthi manje into asuke ebheda ngayo akupromise information esuke ngesilo neqiniso noma ane-potential yokuthi aspread ama-malware afana nama-spyware nama-adware, but ukuvela kwawo nje ezivela akusho ukuthi yena asuke esenomngozi unless otherwise uwaklickile. Enye into futhi engicela ukuthi siyikhumbule noma siyazi before siqede lesson yilento siyibiza ngama-hackers. Now ama-hackers ayakwazi ukuthi a-infecte ama-computers amaningi ngesikhathi esizodwa. So lokho kuye kubizwe ngani nge-zombie army. So hackers can infect multiple computers ukuze zocreate i-botnet noma ibizwe ngani nge-zombie army. Bese sikhuluma ngani nge-antivirus ukuthi antivirus program, the program that was developed ukuthi protect wena as umsebenzi wecomputer against ama-viruses on your computer, hence the name antivirus. Another thing engicela ukuthi sisifundise yona noma siyazi ukuthi amanye ama-anti-spyware programs are designed to only block ama-spyware while amanye akwazi ukublock ama-spyware namanye ama-programs angaba nobungozi. Now ngicabanga ukuthi yona le lesson le isifundisile izinto eziningi, ikakhulukazi izinto ezi-related to indlela emele sisiphathe ngayo nobungozi esihlangabezana nawo kuma-networks. Hence the topic says social implications of networks. Siyabonga kakhulu ngesikhathi senu, siyathemba ukuthi ilesson nijabulela. Nombuzo nangazinye izinto ezi-related to ama-lessons lawa asupplya uGoDigitalSA Foundation, ungakwazi ukuthi uthathe inamba laphaya ku-WhatsApp, ungakwazi ukuthi futhi uphinde uregister kwi-link onikeziwe laphaya onto your screen. Until next week, thank you.
Siyathemba nifunde kahle nasithokozela isifundo sethu sanamhlanje enisethulelwe ngezilokotho ezinhle iThala libambisene ne-GoDigitalSA Foundation. Thamelani ke futhi esilandelayo ngesikhathi sifanayo, ningakhohlwa ukumema nabanye abafundi bebanga le-12 ukuze nabo basizakale kulolu hlelo. Uma ninemibuzo noma nifisa ukuxhumana nathi, ningasithinta ngokufaka imibuzo yenu kwinombolo yethu ye-WhatsApp ethi 068 151 1072. Mfundi, ungakhohlwa ukubhala isifundo obuza ngaso ngaphambi kokubhala umbuzo wakho. Angiyiphinde inamba yethu 068 151 1072. Siyabonga.